Okay. Well, it's been a while since I busted this out. Um, I figured the best time to do it was now as opposed to tomorrow. Um, I figured just get it out of the way and we get through it. But enough about me because it's time. It's time for part two of our game ones. And hey, what's up, Mr. B? Excuse me. And Patty. So we have two P's, Mr. P and Patty. But it nonetheless though it's great to have you. I'm just had a good meal earlier, so I had a good time. And before I go any further, let me there we go. Oh, Josh. Let me see. Where did I put Joshua? Yes, you're going to be in the double header. Now, as far as which game goes first, it'll depend on what the game does. But also good to see Clinton. I hadn't seen Clinton in a while, but I'm happy to see him. But it's great to see you too there, Joshua. All right. I don't want to take up too much time, though. You have to work tonight? Well, hey, at least I'm happy that you're... Well, hey, I'm happy that you're here. Okay. Okay, let me see what's... Okay. Let me just make sure I got the... Okay, so what happens is that they put the game on the left. When there's two games, they put the game on the left as the game that you have to go with first. So, all right. Well, it is what it is. So we're going to start with Cleveland and Chicago. And basically, they just go by... We're actually... Do it... Yeah. Well, in any case, we're going to get right to it. So for the White Sox, we have Patty, Arkham 500, and Azrael Black. And then on the other hand, we have the Cleveland Guardians, or Indians, as they were known as at the time. So I'll let the players that are Oh, really? Oh, wow. Well, not a problem there, Mr. P. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, well, well, the good thing is at least you're not what is it, booked, or the good news is at least you can you're not scheduled for a game, thankfully. But next time you will be. But no worries though. If you have to take time to go take care of a situation, that's all well and good. But the good thing is you're quote unquote not booked for the day, so I'm happy to say that. But I hope whatever that emergency is nothing too serious, but still. Okay. Yes. Let me get right there. All right. Okay, so Patty's here. I'll just have to let Azrael and Arkham know. Hey, what's up, Primetime? How you doing, man? Wait, let me. Oh yeah, that's right. Well, of course, Primetime. You have the night off as we're getting through the other two series game ones that we didn't get to. Hey, what's up, Riley? How you doing, man? Well, Riley, good. Well, good news for you, Riley, is that your good friends are going to be featured on the show. And hello to Rick Kane. Oh, it's fine. I mean, it could be better, but it could certainly be a lot worse. But okay, let me. This will give me a moment, folks. I'm gonna share this out. This is a good time to go get snacks and stuff like that. Hey, what's up, Dakota? And well, anyway, great to see you there. And I also your good friend Riley's there. But I also saw that you're still playing with Rob and Stargamer, and of course the birthday girl Lexi. I was surprised that you got to make it, but hey, I'm happy for you. Really, I am. And also Tenu is here, or the famous Tenu is here. Hey, what's up, Wally? And Wally, I'm happy to say that you have you're part of the doubleheader, my friend. I'm happy that much. I'm happy to say. Okay. Uh, let me get. Okay, now let me just get Azrael and Arkham, and we'll start. I'll have some things to say later on, but anyway, let me just get Arkham though. And hello to Tenu, or sorry, not Tenu, Lewis or Luis, I should say. If only that was real life, but it's not, sadly. The Braves there, Wally. Well, no, you're just in time, Lewis or Luis, I should say. Sorry. I can't talk. Oh, so there was the connection so that the last two boards we. Oh, I'll have to read that. But it's like no need to be worried about being late. I appreciate the thought, but it's like, well, there's, how do I put this? I could think of worse things to be late for, such as, having a job or something like that. But on the other hand, I do appreciate that, even though it's not necessary. But I appreciate it. You could stay for a little bit. Well, I'll try to get through this as quick as I can. I wanted to do it on Friday, but uh, unfortunately I had other plans. So basically, today was kind of the best day I could do it. Also, where was I? Oh yeah, that's right. And now let me just get. Now I just need to get the likes of Cherry and well, actually, I'm not sure how to. I'll have to reach out to Cherry a little bit later on. But we're almost done though. And all right, one more person, and then I'll start the game, and then I'll let the third or the last person know as the game progresses. So we'll go from there. All right, we got it. Oh yeah, I heard the news about Sabu. Though, well, I mean, of course, at the time that Sabu passed, it would have already been too late to include him in 2K24. So I wouldn't be surprised if they include him as free LC for 2K25 in any capacity. Wouldn't be surprised, though. All right, here we go. Let's get right to it. I don't want to take up too much time. And we're going to guaranteed rate field. Of course, I remember when it was just New Comiskey Park, so it is what it is. All right, here we go. And then I'll let Cherry know, but while the game is going on. But yeah, who do you guys think is going to win this one? So of course we have the Indians with Cherry, Sonic, and Switch, and then for Chicago we have Arkham, Azrael Black, and Patty Chase. And Patty Chase, of course, is
MLB The Show is your
what's the
home
word?
for postseason baseball. It's Game 1 of the American League Division Series.
Continuing her role as the designated hitter. I couldn't talk. Now, of course, there is a rule that I will enact, and that is if any team gets ahead by 10 runs or more at the end of a full inning, then I will call it. So Wally thinks the White Sox will win. Of course, they do have the home field advantage for throughout the playoffs, given that they are the #1 seed. So there is that. And of course, they are saluting whilst the national anthem is going on.
Carlos Rodon will do the pitching in front of the home.
So we have Carlos Rodon starting up.
Hey, thanks, Matt.
Although I'm not sure why Rosario is in the shot there. It's kind of weird. But
94 to 96 miles an hour with some cutting action. His best secondary pitch is the hard slider. And
so we have Rosario starting out.
If he brings all three of these,
well, I mean, understandable. I mean, there are certain teams you like better. All right, a foul off for a ball or no balls and 1 strike, or an 0-1 count.
Cool 47 degrees tonight at first pitch.
Not really. Clinton, what is your favorite color? I think I know what it is, but I'm going to let Clinton answer that.
Count is 1-2 now.
There we go. Hey, what's up, Jamar?
Now here's the pitch.
Now, of course, your team already had a Game 1, so your next game will be Game 2, but we're just getting the other Game 1s out of the way at this time. Green, black and green. Those are not bad colors. There's a couple of wrestlers that have green and black. The one that I think of when I think of green and black, one of them was I forget his name I forget if his name was Mortis or Wrath in WCW.
You keep fouling these pitches off, maybe one misses over the heart of the plate.
Not a problem, Wally. You could always watch the replay, though. Anyway, a strikeout to start out with for Rosario.
Wheels off base, and that's just what they did right there. Big strikeout, keep that guy off the base path.
I mean, I don't blame you. I mean, the fact that your game was second instead of first, which I imagine if it had been first, you probably would have stood, but understandable. Oh, yeah, Canyon. Yes, that's right, Canyon. Oh, yeah, DX. Of course, how did I forget DX? Yeah, they were definitely black and green without question. And it's out! Wow, it sailed over the fence. And Cleveland takes the lead 1-0 on the bat of Owen Miller. So you know what that means. It's Miller time. Of course, I don't actually drink in real life. And Miller hits one out. Take a look at it. He hits it. It's not high, but it was far enough that it clears the fence, and it's a home run. And now we have Cherry. Cherry Moy, a.k.a. the Monty Mole, got her first home run in the wild card game, and it was against, if I'm not mistaken, the Boston Red Sox. So obviously, if Cleveland is going to win this series, and the series is a best of 3, by the way, mainly because I didn't want the thing to drag out longer than it needed to, but the gist is that, yep, your friend Cherry's there. It's going go Cherry go though. Well, technically she did get added to the Hall of Fame, albeit as a member of D-Generation X. She never got added as part of a group. Hey, what's up, Azriel Black?
There's a drive.
And there's another big one.
To left center field. Looking up is Jimenez.
And another home run by Cherry. Well, you can make it a cherry bomb. And already the Indians lead 2-0. It's still early though, but wow, how is Cherry doing that?
Well, people always wonder why some players make so much money, and there's your answer. The great ones find a way to rise to the occasion in the postseason.
Oh, I'm so sorry about that, Patty. Well, I'm hopeful that you don't lose it, but at least I'll understand if I don't hear from you or see from you. It's like, oh, okay. So it's probably the thunderstorm that got you. But, well, I mean, I appreciate it for... I appreciate you letting me know, Patty, so at least I'll know. So it's all good, though. But I'm hopeful that you don't lose it. So, and I'm hopeful that this thunderstorm is not as bad as you suspect it could be, but one can only hope, though. Right now, Cleveland already leads, and, I mean, if they keep this up, this game is not going to last very long.
Zero, you hit a nail right on the head. He has a real long fuse. He's not afraid to let a hitter or a pitcher
a little too high.
Complain about a particular pitch, but he's not the guy.
Already up to 18 pitches for Carlos Rodon.
Or pitcher thinks that a pitch is a strike,
too low.
and they call it a ball.
Full count.
3-2 to the Indians.
Patty's like, hi, Azriel. Okay. Fouls it off.
Down the first baseline.
Count remains the same.
Foul, so they'll do it again. 3-2. Making him sweat out there. The 7th pitch coming up. And there's a changeup.
And, well, caught looking. And that's the second strikeout for Rodon.
Locked him up with the changeup right there. Usually you're trying for a swing and miss when you throw that pitch.
And as a reminder, Azriel, you are on the White Sox.
So it's a backwards K for him.
With Patty and then somebody who requested out of Chicago, and in exchange for Arkham 500.
An off-speed pitch here that misses for ball one. Previously against Carlos Rodon, he has an even 10 hits in 34 tries. 2 out, nobody on.
But obviously, you know, it's still early. But out of character, I'm hopeful that you're feeling better, or you're feeling well, or you're doing well, Mr. Azrael Black. The mercenary, as he is. I will say that, you know, that your team, now known as Anarchy and Chaos Enterprises, will be going up against your brother's group, Desolation. Surprise, surprise.
Wow, these guys are
but it
really
will be part of a tournament, though.
This one. They're not making any outs easy to get, and that is having a huge impact on the pitch count.
Let's see. Is it? It's not the Giants, is it? See.
So 2 runs come across here, both coming via
it can't be Cleveland or Cincinnati or. Let's see. A team that you'll never be on. The Cubs.
Aaron Savali gets the call in.
Okay, so it's not the Giants. Okay, cool.
Dan Plezak, what's the word on him?
Well, this guy's kind of unique. How about a 5-pitch repertoire that he has? That gives him a lot of options for both righties and lefties. And
the Mets. Or it's either the Mets or the Boston Red Sox, because the Mets are the other New York team, and then Boston is their perennial rival. Though, I mean, of course, the Yankees have had more rivalries with other teams than... Okay, the Red Sox, okay.
Now here's the pitch. Swings through it for strike number 2. Savali, a 25-year-old, he was selected in the 3rd round back
really
in
good.
2016 first-year player draft.
You can stomach barely. Well, I mean, I can see that. I can see that. I can see that being the case there.
Kids are buying his jerseys.
Oh, a little too low.
Good pitch right there with the bases empty. Why not take a shot?
Okay, cool. I already got Clinton and...
Here comes the 1-2.
Fouls it away, does Robert. I mean, obviously, if you're the White Sox, now that Savale is on the mound, you want to start getting guys on base, if not getting the pitch count to go up. Oh, and here's the starting lineup. So we saw Luis Robert. Now we have Tim Anderson coming up. Then third, Azrael Black. Then Patty Chase, and then Mr. Arkham 500.
Within the game plan, find a way to execute and get 1 run on the board and get back in this.
And that'll bring up the shortstop.
Oh, you mean like the Giants and the Dodgers? Because if you remember, for those who don't know, the Giants started in New York, and of course they were commonly known at the time as the New York Baseball Giants, to differentiate themselves from the New York Football Giants. And then of course you had the, at the time, Brooklyn Dodgers. But then they moved to Los Angeles.
Hit in the air down the right field line.
But a special, you know, I could probably do that for like maybe your birthday or something, Clinton. You just have to let me know.
Just a bit low, tough call, but it's 2-2.
Although it's going to depend on the sport, really.
Neither guy
fouls it away.
Give in, and the at-bat will continue. 2-2.
And anyway, the teams that I mentioned that used to be in New York, that was just in baseball. I mean, there's...
Now the 3-2 pitch.
Right, because the Giants were... Wait, a dribbler. And they get the out at... They get the out at first, so... Good play, though. There's the bracket. But yeah, it's sad though that Manhattan had a team. In fact, they still, like, when I still, like, I was watching a documentary of where the Polo Grounds used to be, and what stands today. It's like, it's kind of sad. Because it's not like what they replaced it with was any... Well, I don't want to say it wasn't any good. It was useful, especially for those who needed a place to live, but... But it was kind of crazy, though, that a baseball field used to be there, or a football field, as it was multi-purpose at the time. And then, of course, the Brooklyn Dodgers. I mean, I remember watching another documentary on their home field, which was Ebbets Field.
And it's fouled away.
And the story was that the owner wanted to stay in Brooklyn, but the biggest opponent to, you know, the Dodgers staying
That's a great sinker
just so happened to be Robert Moses. For my last birthday? Oh, wait. Oh, I forgot about it. Well, then I'll have to, you know what? I'll have to book that. Okay, so this weekend's probably not a good idea, so I'll have to do it another... or actually, no, wait, what am I doing? Since it's your birthday, you gotta, you can reach out to me and let me know, at least within a week, or maybe even 4 or 5 days in advance, when's a good time to do it. So there's always that. Hey, what's up, Seek and Destroy? I've seen you before. How you doing, man? And Brandon Cuevas. Of course, Cuevas has the night off, but oh, let me see. Oh, let me. All right, let me read it. I won't say it, but I'll read it.
The 1-2.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, I'll have to take care of it off camera. That was my response to Crimson without saying what he said, so understandable.
On the first, and there's one gone here to start the second.
You know, I'm happy. Hey, you know what? I'm happy that he's doing better in general, really.
For the Chicago White Sox. And I'm going to focus today on Tim Anderson. And when I say his name, I think quick feet. Not only
so, of course, the two people that are on the field are Arkham and Azriel Black. As mentioned before, Patty is a designated hitter.
At the plate, number 59, as he lays off a fastball too low for ball 1. Bases are empty, 1 man out. Strike taken up in the zone.
And too high of that pitch was a little too high. And then, of course, we have Sonic McCracken. Max Fried.
The pitch. Can't connect there.
Oh yeah, it's always a good I can't even talk. It's always a good thing to have 2 aces. Because whoa, what a shot by Sonic McCracken, but he didn't hit it hard enough. And it's another out. Well, I'm happy. You know what? I'm happy that that's the case there, Clinton. Really, I am. And you know.
Small difference where the ball hit the bat could have made all the difference.
But yeah, Clinton, you could just message me. You know, basically when's a good time to do it, and then of course I want to plan ahead so that way I can prepare for it and everything else. But aside from that. Or be Sting and have endless aces. Wait, Sting.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Now a swing and a little bouncer softly hits
A bouncer, and they get the out at first. Well, at the end of 1.5, excuse me, it is still 2-0 Cleveland. Well, at the time they were the Indians still. Ooh, 6-0. That's pretty good. And a little over 1 earned run a game. That's pretty good, man. All right, well, up next is Patty Chase.
Into the windup, here comes the 0-1. Late on that one as it's fouled off to the left side. The windup and the 0-2 pitch.
Fouled away by Patty. Of course, Patty has that experience. And hits it up the middle, but the pitcher got the ball. And it goes to first base. 1 down. All right, here's the defense for Cleveland. You have Switch Gaming, who is the catcher. Cherry is at right field, and at center is Sonic. And it makes sense for Sonic to be there at center. And it's very simple. He can cover a whole lot of ground with his speed.
To the plate now, number 25. As the first pitch sinker misses to him, it's ball 1.
I mean, I have not seen, like, man, the last time I recall ever seeing a 30-game winner, or not seeing, but hearing about it, was, I forget the guy's name, but he played for the,
Ball and 2 strikes now.
I want to say he played for the Detroit Tigers back in '68, if I remember correctly. That was the last person who won 30 games. I'm going to say that. A former Met in the Cleveland defense. Oh.
Here comes the 1-2.
Savali up to 25 pitches. Hey, Brandon Cornwell. Spike Ryan, what's up, man? Well, Mr. Spike Ryan, of course you have the night off tonight, but we'll get to the game 2s pretty soon. Ahmed Rosario? All right, not a problem. Not a problem, Joshua. You're more than welcome to watch the game, the second game, which is where you are at. You ended up with the Atlanta Braves, is what happened there, Joshua. So you're more than welcome to watch the second game when you have a chance, so... But I'll let you get going, my friend. Norm Cat. I'm leaning towards Norm Cash, though. Oh, nice stop, but is unable to make a play. Runner at first, and that man is Arkham 500. And man, look at the stash on that man.
So here is
what can I say? Arkham has a really good mustache. Dennis, okay, that's probably who it is. Dennis McLean. I would have forgotten his name if not for the fact that he was the last 30-game winner of record.
First pitch on the way.
Oh, a hit and run.
And he'll take it to the bag for the out.
Well, they got it anyway, so at the end of 2, it is 2-0 Cleveland.
As are we. Back with more from game 1 after this. Ready now is Yu Chang, and he'll start out their half of the third, top of the order.
No worries, my friend. It's all good there, Brandon.
Here's
Spike
the
Ryan.
first pitch. Tried to check it, and it's 0-1.
Yeah, that was risky because, I mean, well, obviously that didn't work out.
Here it comes.
But if it had worked out, it would have been huge. That probably would have cut the lead down to 2-1.
Hit on the ground.
He hits it, but they get the out at first from third. Nice play there by Azriel Black. And in fact, he has that crimson red glove that he has. Great play, though. Back to Rosario, who is 0 for 1 so far.
Set and the pitch.
Hey, what's up, Joker?
You can see this guy's more focused at the plate right now. In that first AB, he went down on strikes.
Two balls and a strike.
Swing and a miss.
Sure took a healthy hack that time.
Man, hard to understand why a guy who runs so well would take such a big hack like that one.
Although, well, nice hit, but he hit it right to Arkham, and Arkham made the play. 2 down. But yeah, welcome to the show there, Joker.
So now here is Owen Miller off to a fine start in this one after launching a homer his first time up.
Okay.
And that was a great swing he put on that
Wait, what?
changeup last
Oh,
time
shit.
up to hit that home run. Just
Sorry
an
if I said it, but
absolutely textbook job of
please tell
letting
me.
it travel, keeping his hands back before exploding on
Please tell me.
Center fielder on the run. He's there to track it down, and that'll end the inning. Down in order, go
Okay,
to
cool.
Pride.
All right, so
They're on
I guess it
top,
was.
2-0.
I guess it must have been on his end. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But I had to check just to be sure that that was.
Bottom of the
If
inning
it was
now.
either him or if it was me or anything like that.
The right fielder, Gavin.
All right, so up first for the
First offering.
White Sox in the third is Gavin Sheets.
I love everything this pitcher's got working right now. He's got presence. He's got great body language on the mound. He's got fastball command and a nice early feel for his off-speed stuff.
That finds the zone, a called strike.
Swing and a miss.
1 and 2.
And, well, too high, so it's 2 and 2. 36 pitches already in the bottom of the third for Savale. And got him in the corner, the bottom right corner.
Well, I'm glad to get a
Second strikeout for Savale.
You can't spot a sinker in a better location because even if you do get the bat on the ball, there's not a whole lot you can do with that.
Did Atticus get picked in MLB this season? As he's, well, I mean, he was, but I guess you could say he didn't want to be. I guess you could say he didn't want to be. For lack of a better word, he didn't want to get hoed. Like, end up on another team just because his team lost.
1 and 1.
But no, he was picked though. But unfortunately, it didn't work out. And but he'll be back for next season though. Is Azriel. But he was. I will say that in short.
Up that outside corner, but this misses and it's back to even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
All right, 2 and 2 is the count.
And he struck him out
Got
as
him
well,
looking.
so the bottom of the order
2
providing little
strikeouts in a row for
resistance here.
Savale.
2 away.
That's just
Well, if
quality
Savale can be
pitching right there.
consistent,
That's
I have a
strikeouts.
feeling
Some guys are real
that
good low ball
Cleveland
guys,
is going to
more
win this
often
one.
than not, keeping the ball down is going to lead to a lot of success on the mound.
So here's Yohan Moncada. As he gets
Swing and a miss.
Ball here to start the at-bat. It's strike 1. His career numbers against this pitcher, he's had some success, 5 for 11. 2 out, nobody on. And
Fouls it off.
This one off. Ball
Count
1,
is 1 and
well
2.
below the zone. Able to protect the plate with 2 strikes.
All right, fouls
and
it
we'll
off.
see another
1 and 2 is the count.
Here he
All right.
comes again, 1-2. And just a
Swing and a miss.
job of pitching here as he strikes out the side in order.
Well, Savale
Pure
just
dominance on the mound as he
put him
strikes
down.
out the side
1,
in
2,
order.
3,
We're back
all
to
with
more
strikeouts.
Game 1 after this message and a word from our local stations. Welcome back to the South Side as we check in with Heidi.
Matt, I talked with manager Terry Francona during the break about his thoughts on the Indians' hitters to this point. And overall, he's really happy with the at-bats they're putting together. It's still pretty early in the game, but they've seen a lot of pitches already, and he thinks the 2 runs they've pushed across so far is just the beginning, given the quality of the at-bats they're putting together.
Thank you, Heidi.
But now we get back to Cherry, who has already hit a home run.
Going deep his first time up.
Well, you don't see this very often, Matty B. A 2-strike straight changeup. But this guy
So Rodon's going to have to come up with another way to get Cherry, or hope that Cherry makes a mistake. So far, I mean, of course, Cherry doesn't hit it out all the time, but the fact that she already has 1 home run says a lot about how dangerous of a hitter Cherry is.
Certainly a little bit more cautious against him this time around.
Here he comes on 2-0.
Fouls it off. 2-1. You know, I was going to ask Luis
Swing and a softly hit ground ball.
tell me, I wonder what your favorite sport is, like whether it be team sports or any kind of sports, really, or at least a well-known sport. But I'll let you think about that. 2-2, swing and a miss, and that takes out Cherry. Well, Rodon was able to mix up the pitches to the point where Cherry could not predict what was going to happen, and the results speak for themselves.
When he does make contact.
At the plate now, Franmil Reyes. As he will look at a first pitch fastball.
Franmil Reyes 0 for 1 so far.
Certainly known in part for power at the plate, in particular in these types of matchups against a left-hander on the mound.
Yeah,
Little too low, 2-0.
What a comforting feeling you know it is as a hitter when that pitcher has nowhere to go on the inner half of the plate.
And he'll lay the fastball in here to get the count back to 2-1. There's strike 2 as the slider hits the outside corner. Fouled away.
Fouled away.
2 runs on 2 hits. No errors to this point for the Indians. And he lays off a pitch off the plate and high. 3-2.
Wow, talk about a waste pitch on 2-2. That one wasn't even.
Yes,
close.
absolutely. Thank you, Spike.
All
right, 3-2 is the count, the full count. Fouls it off. Count remains the same. Well, Cleveland is doing the right thing by getting the pitch count of Rodon driven up, but in that case, he missed that one.
Certainly not showing any signs of intimidation with these middle of the order guys.
Though credit to Rodon, like after giving up the first 2 runs, he hasn't given up anything since. So to his credit, he's doing well. He just has to be able to get guys out, and you know, especially when you get them out, whether it be in one pitch or if you have the count in your favor as the pitcher, got to be able to put them away.
The 1-0 is taken, strike 1.
Of course, like anything else, it's easier said than done, and that includes me saying that. So, not that I've ever been a pitcher or anything like that. And he hits it down the line, and it's fair. And is that going to be 2? Yes, it is. It's a double.
As we look again at that double here, you can see that he was thinking 2 right out of the box. Smashed it down the line, and that was some great hustle to beat the throw to second to earn himself a double.
Into the box now, Harold Ramirez. As the first pitch misses to him, it's ball 1. He's 0 for 1 after grounding out in his only trip to the plate so far.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool.
Rounded softly down the line toward first.
And they get the, well, they get to play at first.
The inning is over. So they can't make anything out of
So
a
while they
two-out
gave up,
double.
so while
Back with more from game one.
Cleveland does get a double, they couldn't really convert on it. And you just get the feeling that if the White Sox can just hang around, then they still have a chance to win. On the other hand, if you're Cleveland, you want to get this done. You want to put them away. You have them right where you want them. But you just have to be able to put them away when you have the chance. And while it is still relatively early, if you have them where you want them, you got to put them away. But like anything else, it is easier said than done. 1-0 is the count so far, and Luis Robert is 0 for 1 so far. Of course, Savale just having a lot of fun. I mean, the man already has 5 strikeouts.
1-0 count. Here it is.
Too low.
2 balls and no strikes.
Great AB up until this point. A walk right here could really just infuse some confidence into this lineup.
3-0 pitch.
Strikeout, or not strikeout, but that's the first strike.
He can throw it anytime he wants for a strike.
Count all the way
Another strike, back to back.
Hey, excellent job to get yourself back in this count after throwing 3 consecutive balls. You got a chance to get an out right here.
Now the 3-2 pitch. Gets him looking.
Ooh, got him looking. Oh, I'm sorry, that was his 5th strikeout. Sorry. So he had 4 strikeouts before that.
Through it again. Remember, he struck out the side in the last inning, and now he picks up right where he left off by striking off the leadoff man here. Let's see if he can keep
So
this
4
going
straight
for a little bit.
strikeouts for Savale. See, these are just some of the highlights of the guys that he struck out. Including Robert. That's just incredible.
And the next to bat will be Tim Anderson. And she'll take a look at a high
Another
strike
curveball,
that time. It's
0-1.
0-1.
Hey, this isn't exactly the way you'd like to draw it up. Not throwing a lot of first pitch strikes, but the bottom line is he's getting outs.
Hit down the third base
And hit down the line, and
past him at third as it hugs the line. A fair ball.
is that going to be a double? It's going to be close. They got it. Well, now the White Sox have something to work with. They have a runner at second after Tim Anderson hit the double.
But it was just a solid piece of hitting.
So now the question is,
And pulls it into the corner for extra
you know, are the White Sox going to take advantage? Let's find out. But that was a really good hit there by Anderson. And of course, you have Azriel Black.
Runner back safely. At the plate, Stan the man, Black.
And hit, and got past the glove of the shortstop, and that might just drive in one. It does. Azriel Black, for the White Sox, gets himself a double and drives in a run. Great job there by Azriel.
Gives it a ride and drives in a run. Nice piece of hitting right there.
A well-timed hit there by Azriel. And up next is Patty. Now the question is, can Patty tie this up? And it's going to drop! And Patty gets a double. Wow. That's back-to-back-to-back doubles. And just like that, it is 2-2. And there's still 5 more innings left to go. But now Savale is getting rocked. I mean, Savale was doing so well. He got the first out in this half inning. And just like that, he gave up 3 doubles. and 2 runs. Well, up next is Arkham 500, who already has a single. We'll see if they can cash in on the runner at second. That being Patty Chase. Hopefully we'll get a word from Azriel or Patty, or actually, well, yeah, Patty is, of course, mic'd up, so we can hear what she says, even on the base.
Chase leads on second with 1 gone in the inning.
Of course, Patty is always a threat to steal.
No offer on that.
Although, now the count is in the favor of Arkham, 2-1. That's 2 balls, 1 strike, for those who don't know.
3-1 now.
Oh, absolutely, Patty. Foul away.
Lifted down the line in left. And it's a foul ball. Heading out towards shallow
And
right.
another hit. Is it going to drop? Nope, it does not. As Cherry had enough running speed to get to that ball. A little slower, and it probably would have fell. But Cherry, of course, is a well-conditioned athlete. Of course, if anyone would know, it's Patty, because Patty and Cherry did have a couple of matches against each other. So, of course, Patty would know how quick Cherry is.
I'd be shocked if the pitcher goes to the well 3 times in a row with all speed.
Oh, absolutely. The game's not over. I mean, there's still 5 innings at the very least to go, and who knows how this is going to turn out. And a dribbler. Are they going to get the out at first? They do. Well, that's the end of the inning, but not after the White Sox tied the game with 3 consecutive doubles.
And we are tied 2-2.
Doubles. That's what I was saying.
And now, number 59.
But now we have
Thus far.
Sonic McCracken. And of course, Sonic is decked out in blue and red because that's, you know, because he is cool like that.
And that's in there for strike.
Hey, what's up, Jose?
And that misses downstairs for a ball, 1-1. And they'll come back with 1 1/3 as the count moves to 2-1 now.
If I'm in the box right now, I'm coming unglued. He is going to throw something over the heart of the plate.
Set. Here's the 3-1. Fastball called strike 3.
Oh, a called strike, and unfortunately for Sonic, he took his eye off the ball, and Rodon gets him again. I mean, he was already 0 for 1 before that, so now he's 0 for 2.
At the plate now, number 27. And on the first pitch, he hits it in the air to right. Sheets will wait on it.
Well, Sheets goes, now he's 0 for 2. And that was a 1-pitch out there. And if you're Rodon, you would want those ones.
He bounced out last time up.
Okay.
Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes. He offers at it and hits it in the air to left. Waiting on it is Jimenez. And he makes the catch to retire the side. So nothing happening this time around. Home half of the 5th coming up. And we are tied 2-2. Welcome back for the bottom of the 5th. Here's Heidi Watney.
Well, Matt, I had a chance to discuss the state of the White Sox offense with their manager in between innings. And one thing he mentioned to me was the lack of discipline he's seeing out of their at-bats right now. He said they've been chasing at pitches out of the zone all game, which obviously doesn't usually lead to good results. Until they start being more selective with their swings, he said they will continue to struggle.
Thank you, Heidi.
Okay.
Stepping in once again is...
All right. I had to. I was answering a DM for those who were wondering, like, why was I not talking very much though? Oh, I'm sorry. If I said that Gavin Sheets is 0 for 2, I was wrong. That was somebody else. No, this is Gavin Sheets. And Gavin Sheets! That might be a double! Goodness gracious!
When it left his bat, I thought it might squirt foul, but it hugged the line and found its way.
Wow! I mean, that was... number one, that was a well-placed hit. And the curve was good enough to where it went away from the fielder. And that's another double. That's incredible, man. That was Emma who said that.
And here's the switch hitting catcher, Yasmani Grandal.
Yasmani Grandal is up next. He already struck out at the hands of Savale, who is now up to 69 pitches.
Ball and a strike.
You have to find a way to lay off that low sinker. There is just no way to do any damage. You're just looking at either a bruised shin or a ground out to the left side.
2 balls and a strike now. Grandal with a 3-1 count now.
They know the threat this guy poses at the plate. I know it's a 3-1 in this situation right here, but I cannot believe for the life of me this pitcher is going to come anywhere near the middle of the zone.
2 runs, 5 hits, and no errors so far for the White Sox. And he misses there for ball 4, so runners are at first and second.
All right, so a ball 4, and that's going to result in that'll result in a runner at first as well as second now. And is that a lizard? Wait, or a gecko? Wait, is that the gecko from Geico? You know, 15% or more. You can save 15% or more on car insurance. I did not know he was a White Sox fan, let alone the mascot. And Mokata is going to pop it up. Is it going to fall? No, it does not. But it looks like the runner at second will tag up to third, and they make it. So while McCracken made the play, of course. But the runner that was at second, which was, that was Sheets, I'm sorry. Well, he tagged up and made it to third. So now you have runners at first and third on the corners. So, and if you're Robert, you got to capitalize on this. You're already 0 for 2.
That's going to make him successful today.
But like anything else, whoever wins the first game is going to have control going in.
Is in off the plate.
Great chance right
Oh,
here.
2-0 is 2-0 so far.
With 2 guys already on, pretty good shot. He's going to get a challenge pitch right here.
Runners are at first and third, 1 away. 2 tight with that one. 3-0.
All right, so 3-1 is the count.
Is that an effort to keep him from getting extended, do you think?
Yeah, I think that's the idea, Matt. But he might spin the win if he starts looking for it in there.
And it's up to a 3-2 full count now.
3-2 is the count.
If he's able to steal some strikes early in the count, could be something they have to think about.
Down the line. Wow, what a play. Well, they got the out at second. So they get the out at second, and that results in the second out. But a run does score, so it's a sacrifice. You just had your last high school concert. Oh, really? Well, I'm happy to say, Wesley, you're in the doubleheader, my friend. You are on the second of 2 games. This is the first one. But in other words, you are in action, my friend. So do stick around, my friend.
From the stretch. Using the slide step.
1-0 is the count.
Yeah, that's a good way of trying to control the running game. That's the problem.
But yeah, congratulations, man.
Tendency to throw your command off because you're worrying about that runner on base.
The 1-0 home. Runners off for
Uh-oh, a stolen base attempt.
the throw. Not in time.
And a stolen base successful by Luis Robert.
Check it out on show track. And as the numbers come in, you'll want
Well,
to
it's pretty obvious to see why he is the leadoff hitter. Is that if he's on base, he can steal a base.
yanked on the ground.
And another hit down the line.
Inside the third base bag, a fair ball.
You would think by this point the third baseman would be guarding the line a little bit more.
As also on the play, a run comes across to score.
But on the other hand, a well-placed hit. I mean, then again, even if he wasn't placed, would he have been able to hold on to it? I don't know.
But he was on second, so he cruises across the plate for the run. It's all about finding ways to manufacture.
But it's
runs,
another run
and they did
across the
just that
board.
there.
In now, Stan the man, Black. As the first pitch to him runs a bit inside for ball 1. He's 1 for 2 in this one. And he watches one
2-0.
inside, 2-0 now.
So now you have Asriel Black, who is 1 for 2.
Why not? First base is open. Walk wouldn't be the worst thing in this spot.
And hits it down the line, and
He'll step on the bat
tags on the
himself,
base.
and the inning is over. So it's 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and a runner left. We're through 5 here at the ballpark, and the White Sox are out in front, 4-2. All set for the start of the inning, and up next will be the shortstop, Ahmed Rosario. Set, here it comes. Down the third baseline.
And down the line, but it goes foul.
Strike. 0-1 pitch on its way.
Fouls it off again. 0-2. But yeah, no, really though, Wesley, it's great that. Well, I'm hopeful though that you have, a wonderful time with your, graduation party and whatnot. I had a wonderful time with mine back in the day. It was the class of, 2006 or 2006. So I remember mine as if it was yesterday.
First pitch on its way.
So in other words, I'm hopeful that you enjoy your moment, because you'll never have that moment again. So definitely enjoy it, my friend.
This guy's on point.
Here comes the 0-1.
Pops it up.
Toward right center.
And
And he will
well,
make the play out
great
there.
job there by getting all the way.
And stepping in
So 2 down already.
comes in 1
Rodon
for 2,
is up to
running
80
earlier.
pitches as he goes up against Cherry for the 3rd time.
He's set and the pitch.
Got Cherry looking at a very low pitch, but low enough, or high enough, I should say, to get the strike zone. 0-1.
We're in the 6th inning now of a 4-2 ball game.
Now 5 innings have already passed. We still got this and the next
Down 2 strikes. Yeah, if he's going to pound the zone with this
3 full innings to go.
better step up.
That will have
and got him looking, or got her looking, I should say, excuse me.
Indians go down 1-2-3. They trail
But
it
that's
here,
2
4-2.
strikeouts for Cherry. However, ever since hitting that home run, the Indians have not been able to score at all.
Tristan McKenzie enters to do the
But now
pitching
we
in
have
the
Tristan
bottom of the sixth.
McKenzie, and not much is known about this young man, but
Striding forward now is the DH, Patsy Chase. 1 for 2 with a double on his line thus far. First pitch coming, here it is. Strike taken, good bender on
all right,
the
so
outside
Patty
there.
up at bat
Starting
once
to
again.
loosen now in the bullpen.
So we have some action in the bullpen for Cleveland. Or
Drilled right back up the
and
middle.
another hit by Patty.
Through into center
Man,
field,
I don't know what it is, but Patty is just killing him.
The pitcher got the result he was looking for. Change up down in the
Good job
zone,
there by
looks like he
Patty.
hit on the ground, but obviously the result wasn't what he wanted.
Of course, Patty has that previous experience winning a World Series with crushing Kelly with the Brewers in Season 3.
Into the box now, number 25. This will take a breaking ball too low, and it's 1-0.
But up now is Mr. Arkham.
From the stretch. Fastball misses away here. It's 2-0.
That's a great call right there. Fastball away with a guy who's got some jets on first base. Almost like a hybrid pitch out. Great for a catcher if that guy's running. Easy transfer throw to second base.
And he's back in standing. And it's
Fouled away. 2-1.
Now the 2-1 pitch. It's a sinker that dips below the zone for a ball.
We all know this guy is a great hitter. In a 3-1 count, this is just what he's looking for. He loves to hit when the count's in his favor like this.
3-2, full count.
Hit away. Now it's 3-2. Runner at first. No outs. Fouled
And
away.
sends it out of play.
It's going to be back to some serious tee work if he can't put that.
Well, I'll
pitch
tell
in
you what,
play.
though. It's
Right
gonna
in his wheelhouse.
if Tristan can keep
3-2.
the Indians within 2 or less,
That was some nice execution.
as he was able to strike out Arkham, but if he can do his job and if he can keep the if he can keep things leveled,
You're going to get a lot of ground balls and swings and misses down there.
for some time, then Cleveland can still get back in this.
Standing in now, Eloy Jimenez, as he'll take one up in the zone.
Up next is Eloy Jimenez, who is 0 for 2,
So far.
but this is his first time up against McKenzie. 0-1 so far is the count.
Pitch out.
And
Nothing doing.
yeah, a little bit of a wild pitch, but it's 1-1.
There's the fastball that gets the lower part of the zone, called for a strike.
Take a step back right here. After 3 fastballs in a row, there is no chance he throws you a fourth.
And he struck him out.
And swung at that very low pitch.
Back strikeouts now.
And back-to-back for Trenton McKenzie.
Singled into scoring position.
McKenzie, excuse me. I can't talk.
Working out of the stretch right now, Matt. He's taking control of this inning after giving up that hit. Now we'll see if he can finish it off strong as well.
So now to the plate, Gavin Sheets. And they pitch out here, but nothing's going on. chase. The runner at first with 2 gone. That missed. Close. It's ball 2.
All right, so ball 2, 2-0.
Right there.
So we have Sheets, who is 1 for 2 with a double.
That's the life of an umpire.
3 and
A little too low, and almost got the corner, but it was still a little too low, and a little too out inside, I should say. Well, now Sheets is going to expect to get something. He does, but he does not get that one.
2 out with the man at
That was a
first.
prime opportunity, and he didn't get it.
Now a throw over. And he'll dive
And, of
in.
course, Patty. You always have to be careful with Patty. You never want to take your eyes off her. Well, in baseball, that is.
And the count will be full.
3-2, 2 out, runner on first. Lots of possible outcomes on this pitch.
Now the payoff pitch home. Off
And then
the ground, softly towards
a
second.
soft hitter,
Right there.
but
First
doesn't
with
matter.
time to
They get the
spare.
out at first.
Second is retired. White Sox lead 1, but they still lead this one 4-2.
And at the end of 6, it is 4-2 Chicago.
Now at the plate, Fran Reyes. He'll lead it off here as we begin inning number 7. First pitch of the AB now. No ball.
And Reyes fouls that one off. And as that happens, you have Rodon, who started out giving up 2 runs to start the game. But ever since then, he hasn't given up anything. Not a problem, Clinton. Thank you for coming in, and you're more than welcome to watch. Or wait, I forgot what. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. You already had your game 1, but yeah, you're more than welcome to watch the rest of this off camera or on the replay. So you're more than welcome. But have a good time at work. Definitely stay safe. And definitely get your bread. The money, I mean.
Yeah, that has to be his mentality.
All right, 2-2 is the count.
He can't be the hero, so he needs to do what he can to give the guy behind him a chance to be the guy.
Fastball is outside.
Now it's a full count, 3-2.
Now the payoff pitch home. And
Fouls it off,
this one
3-2 still. But now Rodon is now up to 89 pitches.
The next 3-2. And a good take there.
And
They'll
gives
have
up a
leadoff
walk.
on the board to start the 7th. It's ball 4.
Man,
And of course, if you're Rodon, the last thing you want to do is give up free bases. You just cannot do that. And especially with the Cleveland team, that if they can get a really good hit, then they're back in this. If not, they get closer. So Rodon has got to be careful.
Look for it up in the zone and didn't miss it. Those are the pitches you only get.
And it's a hit and run, and it worked to perfection because now that's going to result in runners on the corners. Great anticipation for a hit and run.
That's a beautiful job of executing a hit and run right there. Pretty interesting. Must have known he was going to try and get over the heart of the plate right there with something either fastball.
And now Rodon
because he was coming unglued.
going to get a visit from the manager. And while he may be a little upset by the fact that he is being taken out,
So he'll leave with the lead. Can't lose this one, but he is responsible for the 2 runners out there, so he could get no decision if they were to come around and score. Michael Kopech comes on.
so now Michael Kopech is in.
There are 2 on here with nobody out.
Unfortunately for him, however, there are runners on the corners that he inherited from Rodon. So while he may not be directly responsible for those 2 runners, he will definitely be responsible for giving up 1 or 2 or maybe even all 3 if Ramirez, in the latter case, gets a home run.
Now here's the first offering. Skied in the air to straightaway left. Catch is made.
Every
Runner tagging
from town to from the next town over, volunteer fire department is at building a building block and is at a building a block from me. Oh man. Well, I'm hopeful it's nothing too serious though.
1 out and 1 on here in the inning.
But I'm very sorry. But I imagine it's not the kind of excitement you were anticipating or wanted.
Dive back in safely.
I probably would be nervous too if that happened to me. So my thoughts and my prayers to you there, Batty.
Stretch, here's the pitch.
But definitely stay safe. And as that happens, Sonic McCracken is 0 for 2. And if his team is going to get back in this, as right now the Cleveland Indians, or soon-to-be Guardians, they do get a run.
And now a fastball, but he's able to hold off on it, and it's
They do get a run and cut it to within 1, 4-3. But if Sonic wants to help his team, he has to get on base,
on the ground.
which of course is easier said than done.
Now a move over to first. And they get dirty, but he's back in safely.
Of course, making sure that Ramirez doesn't move. And Sonic got caught looking again.
Third strike, and that's the second out of the inning.
That's a big strikeout there with the tying run over at first base. Now, with 2 outs, it becomes a lot more difficult to manufacture that guy home. Probably need a ball in the gap to give him a chance.
And as that happens, up next is Switch Gaming, who is 0 for 2. But I have to think that if he can get a hold of a big one,
It's a cold strike, the throw.
well, now we have a runner at second after a stolen base by Ramirez. Or Harold Ramirez, I should say.
And this misses the
Yeah,
outside
that was
corner,
too
so
far
it's knotted up to
outside
1-1.
the strike zone. So now for Switch, he just has to time this.
1 and 2
Ooh, a little,
Indians catcher.
quite a bit low, but high enough to stay in the strike zone there. 1 for 2 is the count, so now Switch has to protect.
1-2.
He does.
And an off-speed
Swing and a
pitch
miss.
swung on and missed, and with that, the side is retired. Clearly fired up to work out of that jam. We're back with more of Game 1 after this message and a word from our local stations.
So
Last half of the seventh
that was
here.
the 7th inning stretch, and of course the Sox have the lead. I mean, this game is very close. I would have to think that whichever reliever
One-run game. This doesn't strike me as a
does the best,
situation
whichever
where he's
pitching
gonna be
staff does the
working around
best,
a guy. I think he's going to challenge him
and
right
subsequently whichever batting squad does best is going to determine this game.
And this is low.
I mean, this is one of those games where either team could possibly win.
Fouled off.
Fouled away. Now, Grandal is 0 for 1 with a walk
Right there. Just saw an off-speed pitch,
after 2
wanted to
at-bats.
stay back a little bit too long.
Swing and a miss.
Missed as they set it
Well,
down for the second time.
McKenzie gets another one.
Nice job there taking care of the leadoff hitter via the strikeout. I'll tell you.
I believe that's his third strikeout.
Especially this late, getting that first guy in the inning is so important. It changes the whole
Just
complexion of the
incredible-
inning, so that was a big out.
Just an incredible pitch there by McKenzie. An incredible sequence.
Now,
1 down.
First pitch
Too low.
misses to him. It's ball 1. 0 for 2 from him so far in this one. The 1-0 home is looked at for the first strike.
All right, 1 and 1.
We're in the 7th inning now of a 4-3 ball game. And here's a fastball not close as he runs it to 2-1 now. And
fouls it away, 2-2.
Here now the 2-2.
Fouled off again.
Another 2-2 offering.
Well, now Mokada is driving up the pitch count for McKenzie.
And there's ball 3 on a breaking ball that misses
And now
away.
McKenzie gets it to within, well, now it's a full count as he throws a ball, so now it's a full count.
But it just ended up taking off on him.
Now the payoff pitch home.
Ooh, almost hit him, but even if it had, it would have resulted in the same thing, a walk. And of course, if you're, sorry about that. Of course, if you're McKenzie, the last thing you want to do is walk guys. You know, you don't want to give up free bases there.
And they don't need anything special from him right here. They need to find
right now it's Luis Robert who is 0 for 3.
Don't be shocked if the sac bump gets laid down.
I mean, yes, he did get on base, but that was a fielder's choice that got him on base.
And maybe a little
2-0 is the count.
Here as the fastball misses for ball 2 now.
Now this is the kind of count this guy feeds on at the plate. You can bet he's geared to hit the fastball right here.
2-1 count to
2-1.
the Belleville's leadoff hitter.
Count 2-1.
Too high that time, and it's 3-1.
When you're playing close games like this, base runners mean everything, so he can ill afford to start giving away free passes.
Set. Here's the 3-1. And he
Too
misses
low.
Again, ball 4.
And that's back-to-back walks.
Now that it reached base via the base on ball.
The batter number 7. Shortstop.
Well, now this is an opportunity for the White Sox to really put this, to really bust this open and really put this game away. And if you're Cleveland, you've got to come up with something. A double play or get a play at third. A strikeout would be nice too, but you got to get something.
Moncada's running.
Swing and a miss.
Misses. Throw down.
And, well, that works too as they get the out at third. They caught the runner, the stolen base attempt from second to third, and they got the lead runner out. I mean, now of course there's still a runner at second, but now the damage is a little bit more manageable. All you have to do is get a strikeout or a play at any base and you're good. Oh, what a hit. Is that far enough? Wow, Cherry. I don't know how Cherry did it, but Cherry was able to reach up and make the play, but that ball almost went out. Had the fence been a little bit shorter or a little bit closer, that would have been out. Well, out of the park, that is. But instead, Cherry made the big out. So now the game is still close, as we have Craig Kimbrell. So now that we're in the 8th inning, now we have our setup guys. And usually when, for those who don't know, the setup pitcher is the pitcher that bridges the gap between the starter or the reliever to the closer. So this is the guy that is the transitional pitcher, and most especially in the 8th inning of games, regardless of whether you're at home or on the road. For those who don't know. One down.
Now the first pitch. Now action in the bullpen as their closers starts to.
So we have Hendricks and Bummer in the bullpen.
4-3 our score here as we play the 8th.
Swing and a miss.
Breaking ball there for a strike. Nothing in 2 count and the pitch.
And got him looking.
Second time tonight now that he's been set down on
2 down.
Well, we've seen some really good pitching from these guys in this one. The bullpen has looked sharp and have backed up a nice effort turned in by the starter. These days, pitching has become a full staff effort, and I've been impressed with the job these guys have done so far.
To the plate now, Owen Miller. As he'll take a cold strike.
All right, so Kimbrel doing a great job
He's got a hit in 3 at-bats to this point.
in this 8th inning. Well, Miller just went out of the strike zone to get that ball, and probably would have been better just to leave it alone. But instead, it's 0 for 2, and now Kimbrel can put this one away for out number 3. And he does. So we got the, so of course we have the White Sox last chance to add some more runs before we get to the top of the 9th. And I'll explain what will happen when we get there.
Yeah, I understand that, Matty, but this guy's got burner.
But once again, we have Asriel Black, and he'll start out this particular half inning. He is already 1 for 3 with a double and an RBI. Of course, Asriel has been in this position many times, though. Yeah, what a bummer, of course. Oh, of course, bummer is the name of the
ready to deliver the 1 and 2. Look out.
Ooh, almost got hit there, did Asriel Black. The relief pitcher, I should say. I can't talk.
You have to back hitters away from the plate to make them a little bit uncomfortable. Now you can go inside or outside. I like that purpose pitch.
Still hanging with him. Another good swing to keep it going. The 2-2.
Fouls it off. Still 2-2.
The 2-2 one more time.
Well, he's driving up the pitch count for McKenzie, who is up to 49 pitches. I'm surprised that Cleveland kept him in. Oh my gosh! And Asriel Black just got. Where'd he get hit? He got hit on the upper back. Are you okay there, Asriel? Yeah, great game. It's a very close game, though. It could go either way. But Asriel got hit in the back, man.
In now, Patsy Chase, as he looks at a fastball that misses off the plate for ball 1. He's 2 for 3 and looking for more here.
Well, Patty already has a double and a single and an RBI.
Now the 1-0.
And a wild pitch, and that's going to give Asriel Black the ability to get to second base. So now we have a runner at second. You've been hit with worse? Right now, McKenzie's got to calm down. The last thing he wants to do is put his team in a larger hole than they need to be.
Black leads off second with nobody out. Taking all the way,
and got the corner. I don't know how he did that, and I'm not. I mean, that was close.
Stealing that strike on 3-0.
But from what I've seen, that was good. 3-1.
Gotta believe he's going to be way more aggressive right here.
3-1. Here it is. Short
and hit down the middle.
Black rounds third and is digging for the plate. Now the relay home, and he is going to beat the throw home as he scores to make this a 5-3 game now.
Dan, that's a huge insurance run right there. Has to feel good as a hitter right there to not only get a ribby knock, but to give your team a little bit of breathing.
It does, and to make sure pitcher go out there with a little bit more free and easy frame of mind instead of going in a one-run game where every pitch is so important. You're one pitch.
Well, great job there by Patty. I mean, I don't know how Patty's doing this, but Patty is contributing to a great cause.
Now a throw over to first.
And of course, they're making sure that Patty does not try anything. But now the White Sox have a bit more of a cushion at 5-3.
Standing in now, number 25, as he lays off a fastball.
Of course, Arkham himself has a double.
A runner at first with no outs here. Throw over to the bag. And he has to dive, but he's back in easily. Fastball just missed above the zone.
This inning really feels like it's getting away from him out there. As a reliever, you can't let that happen. Nothing you can do about what's already happened, and it's only going to get worse if you're not focusing on the guy in the batter's box.
2-0 count, the pitch, fouled off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lifted the other way out to left center.
Popped it up.
Ramirez
One down.
Settle under it to make the play for the first out as the runner will have to head back.
Although that was really nice of you there, Patty.
At the plate now is Emo Jimenez. No hits in 3 tries so far. He's struck out once. Now the first pitch. Runner at first here, 1 man out. Oh, you talk about a pitcher getting the benefit of the doubt. That's low, but called a strike anyway. Nothing in 2 now.
Yeah, this is straight survival mode. Down 0-2. The numbers are definitely not with the batter here.
Hoping to send him packing. Pitch on its way. He takes strike 3 called on the fastball. Couldn't pull the trigger, and there are 2 away. Didn't mess around much in that at-bat.
No, that was pretty impressive, man. I really like a pitcher that trusts and works off his fastball. Right there, he decided he didn't need to use anything else. 3 straight heaters, and go grab some bench.
Into the box now, Gavin Sheets. As he'll take a look at an off-speed pitch here that misses for ball 1. He's working on a 1 for 3 thus far. Here's a look over to first, and he'll get back in standing. A runner on first with 2 away. And this one's over for a high strike, 1-1. Has a look, now the pitch.
Okay. I sent a DM. I was busy sending a DM though, off camera. All right, back to this, and we have the count at 2-1. Also, a good time to rest my voice too. But now we're back. 2-1 is the count. 2 down, and we'll now make it 2-2 is the count. And now it's 3-2. Full count.
The runner in motion, he could score all the way from first.
2 out with a man at first.
3-2 is the count.
Oh, he hammers it
Oh,
to deep
that.
right field.
Uh-oh. It's out of here. Well, Gavin Sheets gets his second hit, and it's a home run, a 2-run home run.
Field, as it is now 7-3.
Now it's a 4-run game as he brings in Patty Chase as well as himself.
Well, he turns on this thing and drives it out, extending the lead.
And if you were McKenzie, that was the last thing you needed. Although I'm surprised, legitimately, they didn't send in somebody like this guy right here, Blake Parker, to come on in.
That warrants getting him up.
Blake Parker enters here looking to get the final out before the 9th inning.
Oh, welcome back, Jose. I guess Jose had to go step out, but he's back.
So now to the plate, Yasmani Grandal. As the first pitch here is a bit high, it's ball one. No hits to this point. The 1-0 is swung on.
Swing and a miss.
It's not easy to get your barrel to a pitch that high. That could be an effective location.
Yeah, home run was hit. I mean, credit to Sheets. I mean, he got the job done. Well, now the bases are empty. But if you're Cleveland, at this point, you just have to get out of this inning and get to the top of the ninth, and we'll go from there in terms of what they need to do. Fouls it off, 1-2.
Went out of his zone that time, but he stays alive.
Put that in the memory bank. First time he breaks out a curveball right there, and it's a pretty good one.
Try again, 1-2.
Fouls it off.
A late one as it's fouled off to the left. Here's the 1-2 delivery.
Nope, outside.
Fastball didn't miss by much.
Oh, whoa.
Full count now,
3-2.
3-2.
This guy's a hard guy to put away. He's fouling off some tough
Oh, she
pitches.
is. She definitely is, Emma.
He seems to keep hanging right in there.
Here's the payoff pitch. Now here's another.
And
again,
gonna give it a ride. Is it out? Nope.
22 retreats to
But
track,
the
and
damage was done.
one away. So a sigh of
It was
relief.
4-3 coming into this
Side is
inning,
retired.
or
But they
in the
strike
half
for
inning, I should
3
say.
in the
And at the
inning.
end of
2 on
8,
this 2-run home run.
it is 7-3.
Last chance coming up for the Tribe. It's now a 4-run lead at 7-3.
Okay, I was just waiting for the announcer to stop talking. So
22.
here's the situation.
First, we'll flash you back to the very first inning of the ballgame. And here you go.
Cleveland
Solo home run that had him off and
would need to
running
score
early on.
at least 4 runs in order to force a bottom of the 4th. If they could score 4 runs or more, then they will force a bottom of the 9th. Anything less than that, and the White Sox will win Game 1.
And the pitch. Off we go in the ninth as the first pitch misses for ball one.
Right guy, right spot. This is one of the better hitters in their lineup. Just the guy they want to see coming up now to get this inning going.
All right, so 1-0 is the count.
1-0 home.
Well, for Cherry, this is the first time she's going up against Craig Kimbrell,
Stand those hitters up.
as right now he's in line for a save, if I'm not mistaken.
Now the 2-0. Hit hard on the ground.
And
to the right.
gets a single.
That is through into
Well,
right
I
field.
believe that's the first time I've seen Cherry get a single. I've never seen her get one. I mean, she's either hit a home run or just didn't make it, but that's her first single, so congratulations to Cherry getting on base. So a runner at first,
As he will take strike one on the fastball here.
no
balls
outs so
inside.
far.
He's hitless in his 2 at-bats so far.
But for Franmil Reyes, he's going to have to get a hit, if not hope, to get a walk. But obviously he wants to make something happen. Or he could just let it happen if Kimbrell's not going to pitch in the strike zone.
From the belt, the pitch.
Count was 2-1.
Nobody out, runner on first.
Wow, I'm shocked the hitter took it right there. That's a well-executed pitch down in the zone to try and get that double play.
Now a 58-foot curveball that misses for a ball. Jose Ramirez waits on deck. Here's the 3-2.
Aw.
And that misses for
Well,
ball 4. And it's first and second now. with
so I was resting my voice a little bit. And the last thing you want to do if you're Craig Kimbrell or anybody really is to give up a free base is what I was trying to say. I couldn't talk. But now we have Liam Hendricks. Okay, so this guy is their regular save guy. Well, let's see if they've warmed him up just enough for him to shut this thing down. And if that's the case, then they have this. But if not, well, one can only wonder.
But hey, they string a couple of hits together here, and all of a sudden this thing feels doable.
Now, if you're Ramirez, you just have to get on base however you can.
Ready to deal. Here comes the first pitch. Batting left-handed here as he takes a look at strike one.
0-1 is the count. In just a few moments, we will be doing our second game.
Nothing in one count. Here it comes.
Ooh, almost hit him, though. 1-1.
Curveball misses inside.
Hey, lots of guys get too aggressive in a spot like this, but he's done a nice job of gaining some count leverage. Look for him to put the ball in play hard.
Swing and a miss, 2-2.
None out, runners at first and second.
Oh, well, that's awesome, man. Well, they get the out at second and the one at first. So 2 outs. And they get, well, I mean, of course they have the runner at third, but that's going to limit the damage completely. Great job there by Azriel to make the play. If he doesn't make that play, there's a good chance that 1 or 2 runs score, and it becomes a closer game than that. But now it all comes down to Harold Ramirez. Can he get on base? Much less get the guy at third home.
Ready with the 0-1. And he misses with it.
1-1.
That's not an easy pitch to do anything with, right? 96 miles an hour in on the hands. You almost have to be looking for that pitch to be able to do anything with that.
Here it comes on 1-1.
I got 2-1.
2-1.
Men on third with 2 down. Now a swing and a
Hits it to the shortstop. They get it to Azriel Black, and that's it. The White Sox have won Game 1 and are now 1 win away from winning the series and moving on to the American League Championship game. Congratulations to the White Sox. But up next, we have the Giants, the San Francisco Giants, and the Atlanta Braves. So, Jose,
Tonight's final 7-3. The White Sox jump out to
get ready because you are up next, man.
Carlos Rodon is credited with the win. So that'll do it for us. For Mark DeRosa, Dan Flezak, Heidi Watney, and our entire crew, I'm Matt Vasgersian. You've been watching MLB The Show. For more, make your way over to the new website, theshow.com.
I mean, of course, the Cleveland Indians started out with 2 runs. They led 2-0 after a half inning, and then after that, they just couldn't score any runs. At least not until about the 8th inning. seventh or eighth inning, somewhere around there, to get their third run. But after that, they just couldn't score anything. And the final score is 7-3. And as that happens, let me do something really quick. Yeah.
For Cleveland, 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors. They left
Yeah.
3 men on base.
All right, so let me exit out here.
Time of the ball game, 3 hours and 9.
All right, so I know that Wally and Joshua are. Oh, no. I meant to go to right over here. Okay. All right, so I know that Joshua and Wally are asleep. So, and even if Wally wasn't, I don't have a way to contact him. But I'll let Wesley know, and then I'll also let. Of course, Jose's here, so that's cool. And then, of course, Clinton is at work, so the only other person I would need to let know is Damien. So I just need to get Damien and Wesley. So this should not take too long. Okay, and then of course let me get Wesley Turtle or Solo Turtle. Yep, Jose's up now. All right, here we go. Let's get to it. All right, here we go. All right, so now that I've let both available competitors know, so we're going to Truist Park. So let's do that. Okay, cool. And because I am on something of a time limit, I'm gonna have to turn on quick counts only because I am on a time limit. So I want to get this done. So with that said, let's get to it. But otherwise, it's not going to affect the game all that much. It's just going to make it a little bit faster. So that's the pitching matchup. And then, of course, you have Damian Shelley, Jose Blanco, and Clinton for the Giants. And on the other side, you have Joshua James, Walter Johnson, and... and Wesley, of course, is one of the relief pitchers for the Braves. So while we don't see him on the field, he is going to be available in the bullpen should the Braves ever need somebody to go the distance, especially in a relief position. But as it stands, of course, you have the Braves who did win the Season 2 championship. So, of course, the Braves do have the experience. There you see Clinton. There you see Wally, number 11. And, of course, next to him is Joshua. Gossman and Morton are the starters for San Francisco and Atlanta, respectively.
Charlie Morton will do the pitching in front of the hometown crowd here in Game 1. What do you have for us on him, Danny?
Well, Matt, this guy's properly nicknamed Ground Chuck because if he's on, you're going to see a steady diet of ground balls. Very important for Charlie Morton that his middle infielders on their toes. He should induce a lot of ground balls. Changed his arm angle a few years back after modeling after Hall of Famer Roy Halladay. Charlie Morton.
All right, here we go. So quick count, 3-1.
Well in this one.
In there on the inside corner. Don't know that he liked it, but it's a full count now, 3-2.
Now it's a full count.
Temperature here and even 60.
And up first is Damian Shelley for the Giants. And he gets the first hit of the game. And just like that, the Giants strike first. I mean, of course, they haven't scored a run yet, but they got a hit.
Great battle, couple of tough pitches. Offensive player able to work himself deep into the count. Pitcher on the attack, but chalk one up for the offense on that.
All right, quick count, 1-1. Brandon Crawford, I can't talk. And a stolen base by the Nickel, the cat boy, or so the cat Nickel, Damian, quick as a cat, pun intended, gets a stolen base. I have to imagine that's going to make Jose very, very happy. But now we have Brandon Crawford. Of course, not his brother Brandon, but still, it's a Brandon nonetheless.
First time he breaks out a curveball right there, and it's a pretty good one.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Crawford.
Too high, 2-2.
We just saw a fastball right there. I would not be shocked if he tries to get this guy to go fishing right here and drops a little off-speed pitch in the dirt.
Working for the punch-out and the offering.
Fouls it off again, 2-2. Swing and a miss. One down. First strikeout for Morton.
Real good example of a pitcher continuing to make a guy chase out of the zone. When you recognize a hitter is in protect mode, you don't have to come inside the strike zone. You can just expand further and further until he literally can't touch it.
Standing in now, Jose Blanco, very weakly on the ground. Shelley, runner at second with 1 away. And that one misses badly. It's ball 2. You can tell he won.
Whoa, that was a bit too low and too close.
Anyway, and he becomes out number 2.
And that was Jose Blanco who struck out. Not a good first start for him.
Got there and had fallen completely out of the zone. Not much you can do with that pitch.
I'm like, that was, I mean, come on, Jose, that was a little too low. And as that happens, quick count, 1-1. Now we have Clinton flipping.
Just got the corner that time with a fastball, strike 2.
Runner at second and 2 outs.
There's a well-executed fastball down the way, and that's exactly what that is. He swings at that. That's off the end of the bat. That's not hard contact at all, and that's an easy out for the defense.
Here's the 2-2.
And swung and missed, reaching for, trying to go fishing. But unfortunately, he caught nothing. And at the end of 1/2 inning, it is 0-0, despite getting a hit. I mean, despite getting a hit and then a stolen base, the Giants couldn't capitalize on that, and they're going to have to start capitalizing as the game progresses.
Hey, it's hard to have all.
I mean, the Braves do have the pedigree. I mean, they are former champions.
4 pitches and have command of him, he's going to have a really good game.
So stepping in is
1-1 is the count to start.
lead things off here in the bottom half of the first.
Well, now make it 2-1.
Ball 2.
Hits it down the middle. But then, I believe that was Jose who made the play and got the out to Brandon Belt. But anyway, here's the starting lineup, though. So you can see that Joshua is the shortstop, And of course, Wally is the designated hitter.
Thinking back to my playing days when I knew I had the ace on the mound.
Of course, this was back when Freddie Freeman was still with the team.
Drive to the yard, you tell yourself, even though you felt bad about it, just get
1-1 is the count to Austin Riley.
On the big boy to have to execute, and he usually does. Look for this lineup to try and execute and score, manufacture 1 or 2 runs early in this one.
Ooh, good hit, but is it far enough? Wow, that was close. That was close. I thought for a moment that was out, but just a little bit short. Well, those are the brackets as of this game. Up next is Freddie Freeman, and the count is already up to 3-1.
Left-handed hitting first baseman Freddie Freeman. Hitters count all the way. Here it comes.
Fouls it off. Now a full count.
2 out, nobody on.
Swing and a miss. Well, at the end of 1, it is 0-0, so it looks like defense is going to be the aim of the game here, and it's going to come down to which offense can come up with the big one.
And now here is Brandon Belt, as it'll be 5, 6, and 7 due up to kick off the second inning. Up. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Hits this one hard, the other
and hit down the middle, and already and just like what happened in the first inning, the Giants strike first as far as getting a hit.
Stepping up
Next up is Chris Bryant. Of course, Bryant has been how do I put this? I mean, he's been successful just about everywhere he's been, whether it's the Cubs, the Giants. I forget what other teams. I want to say the Yankees. Correct me if I'm wrong. But Bryant has been a success everywhere he's been. I mean, sure, he hasn't, done so well to get like a full-blown contract, like a long-term contract, but so in other words, even though he's never been the centerpiece of his team, he's one of those guys that is what you would call someone who can get you over the hump. So in other words, any team who can get his services is well off.
Full count, here it comes.
Fouls it away again. Now Morton is up to 31 pitches. Fouls it away again. Well, now it looks to me like Bryant is trying to get that pitch count to go up. And ultimately get a hit. So that's 2 hits. And we have a runner at first and second. So Bryant did a great job finally, just plugging away at it and finally getting a hit. So 1-1 is the count, and Buster Posey's up next. Of course, Posey is, again, one of the leftovers from the dynasty years. That was 2010 all the way to 2014, when they won a championship every other year. So in other words, they won 3 championships in 5 years, winning it every other year. So while they never won it back-to-back, just the fact that they were a threat every even-numbered year is nothing short of incredible.
Hitters count all the way. Here it comes. This
And he hits it. Is it going to go far enough? Whoa, what a catch! And the runners, the runner at second will advance to third, but look at this. Look at this play. Wow, what a diving catch by Eddie Rosario. Because he saved a sure run there. That was most certainly a run, but now we have Mike Yastrzemski. Of course, the son of the great Carl Yastrzemski.
To deal with right here, but he's starting to lose command of his pitches. It might be time to take a step back and try to refocus and make him some good pitches.
Well, right now Morton is up to 39 pitches. I imagine this is going to be a concern for the manager.
And he fires a fastball now for a called strike two. With 2 strikes now and a runner at first.
I mean, if you're Charlie, you got to compose yourself.
Good time to try to put the ball down.
Of course, like anything else, it's easier said than done.
Or potential double play ball.
No score here as we play inning number 2. And it's
Fouls it off again. And again.
lifted the other way down
And popped up again.
And that will end up a foul ball. Ready on 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here it comes.
And Yastrzemski, it's going far, it's going deep, and it's out. Yastrzemski gets a 3-run home run, and just like that, it's gone quiet.
No doubt an impressive home run, so we'll employ show track.
I imagine if you're Jose Blanco, you got to be happy with your teammate Yastrzemski. Let's see if we can get a better angle of where that ball went. But I want to say it went over that restaurant that was at right field.
So now to the plate, Steven Duggar. And this will miss down low in the dirt, so he's working full now at 3-2.
So while Duggar is at bat, in just a moment we'll have Shelley. Swing and a miss. All right, well, Duggar's out.
Looked to me like he had the right idea with the swing on that pitch. He just didn't get the bat to the zone in time. The pitch was away. He let it get deep, maybe trying to take it the other way, but it got too deep and was by him by the time his barrel could get in the correct position.
To the plate now, Damian Shelley. And he misses.
All right, so we have Damian Shelley, 2-1 is the count so far.
Spiked here in this inning. He's up to over 50 already.
Three runs already home here. A swing and a screamer, but this one's not going to stay fair. 2-2. Is a swing and a miss. That's strike
Swing and a miss. Well, that's going to end the half inning, but not before. Mike Yastrzemski with a huge 3-run home run.
We'll go to the bottom of the second. It's now 3-0.
And unless the Braves can respond, this might not be a long game. I'll just say that. Yeah, absolutely. But now we're going to find out if Joshua can turn this thing around.
Getting a run back in this inning, give them a little bit of confidence that they can keep up in this.
Well, it's a good thing. Well, it's a good thing that it's just a few of us here. But otherwise, I would have. Well, never mind. Well, out goes Joshua James, though. I just hope anyway. What I was trying to get at, Jose, is let's not get to the point of bloodlust here. But I understand you're very happy with the fact that San Francisco is ahead 3-0. But it's all good though. It's all good. But now up next is Wally, and he gets taken out. And by comparison, Gossman is at 23 pitches, and he already has 2 outs.
He's sent down via the strikeout.
But to get out Joshua and Wally in back-to-back, that's huge. Swing and a miss by Adam Duvall. 1-2 is the count.
He's 1 pitch away from striking out the side.
Well, as mentioned before, if any team is ahead by 10 runs at the end of a complete inning, then I will call the game. But in this case, hit towards the first baseman, they get the out at first, does Brandon Belt, and that's the end of 2. 2 down, 7 to go. 3-0 San Francisco.
Welcome back to Truist Park, just outside Atlanta, as we send it down to check in with Heidi.
Thanks, Matt. Between innings, I was able to discuss the current state of the Giants lineup with their manager, Gabe Kapler. And flat out, he was very pleased with the quality of their at-bats. They've been able to push across 3 runs to this point, but they've also made the opposition work extremely hard. He's thrown a lot of pitches, and they think they're going to have a good opportunity to push across a lot more runs as he tires or as they get into that bullpen.
Good stuff, Heidi. Thanks. Brandon Crawford digging in next. 0 for 1 here in the early going.
All right,
back up the middle.
Hit up the middle, but not far enough, and they get the out at first. 1 down. All right, now we have Jose Blanco, who struck out, but let's see if he can redeem himself. Count is already 1-1.
Anytime it gets up there north of 7, 8 pitches.
Swings and misses.
Sometimes it just comes down to pure
I mean, it was a close pitch, so I can understand why Jose swung at it, but now he has to protect.
And he fouls this one off.
Fouls it off. Well, now Morton is at 61 pitches, and it's only the top of the 3rd.
Here's a looping fly
and,
ball out to right.
Well, he popped it up just a little too high, and that's number 2.
Now into the box.
That's 2 down.
0 for 1 for him here in this one.
But up next is Clinton. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
Hey, usually the second time through the order, you start seeing an incorporation of some more off-speed stuff. But this guy's low
and then a dribbler, but instead Morton gets the play at first, and that was a 1-2-3 inning. Still 3-0 as we go to the bottom of the 3rd.
And the Braves nothing. Ready to go for the last half of the inning, and that'll bring forth the veteran outfielder, Jorge Soler. The 1-1 home. Belted high and
oh, that's high, but is it far enough?
To the track.
Not quite.
He makes the catch.
It was close, but not far enough.
Nobody aboard.
1 down.
The exciting Ozzie Albies. Braves are still looking to break into the hit column here. 1-2.
Fouls it off.
Fouled off.
1-2.
The offense better get it going right here, because they certainly can tell from their dugout. This guy is carrying himself with a presence out on the mound. He's got feel for all his pitches.
Now it's 2-2. And I have to agree with the commentator in the game. They're going to have to come up with something. And certainly getting struck out by Gossman does not help if you're the Atlanta Braves. Next up is Travis Darno.
And up next, the catcher, Travis Darno. Bases are empty here.
On the other hand, if you're the Giants, you have them right where you want them.
Fouled away. High
And
in the air out to center field.
hits it high, but not far enough.
Number 37 finds some space
Good
out
catch there by
to
Clinton.
retire the side.
Now, of course, Clinton has the
They trail it here.
is somewhat the opposite of Sonic McCracken from the game we saw earlier, in that, yeah, he's not the fastest in terms of getting to a ball, but what he lacks in that, he more than makes up for with a cannon of an arm. All right, 2-1 is the count to Brandon Belt.
Skied in the air.
Popped it up.
Left. Rosario is there. And that's
One
the
down.
first down of the inning. Next to dig in, Chris Bryant. He singled and scored in his first appearance in this one. Now the 2-1.
Ooh, good hit, but
That's
fouled.
ripped foul down the third baseline. And they're working the outer half here, but that one's wide for ball 3. Buster Posey will be next. The 3-2 pitch.
Fouls it off. 3-2 still.
And here's a ball hit in the air. But
Well,
this
so
is gonna
far,
wind up a foul
Morton
ball.
has had a lot of trouble putting away guys, and
More time. And another
unfortunately
foul
for
ball.
him, that's only adding to the pitch count. Yeah, already at 8 pitches in this at bat here.
Control the strike zone.
Neither guy willing to give in, and the at-bat will continue.
Hey, have an AB right here. I know it's frustrating the heck out of the pitcher. You keep fouling these
And
pitchers
this
off,
time
you
he
won't
hits
miss
it,
so
but
hard to the plate.
he hit it right to the left fielder, so that's it for Bryant, but he drove up the hit count. So yeah, good hit, but it was just hit right to him.
Hit it even better if he would have stayed through the middle of the field with it.
Into the box now, Buster Posey.
Now we have Buster Posey again.
No offer on that one. 2 balls and a strike. All even
Fouls
now,
it off.
2-2.
2-2.
Hey, he's done an amazing job of settling down. 2 innings ago, I thought they were going to run him out of here. But now he's close to posting 2 shutout innings as a response.
3 runs, 4 hits, and no errors on the Giant ledger to this point. This is on the ground.
And he hits it. Are they going to get the out at first? They do. It still remains 3-0 San Francisco, but that was a great play there by Ozzy Abies.
Stepping in for the Braves, Eddie Rosario. He's 0 for 1 thus far. That's lifted the other way out to left.
Popped up,
Duggar.
and it only took 1 pitch to get it out.
Hauls it in for the first out.
And on the other hand, and on the other side, I mean, Atlanta just not having good at bats,
And no errors so far for Atlanta.
and that only just serves to make the job of Gossman all that much easier.
Backing him up 2-1.
So there's every possibility that Gossman can get a complete game, if not get to the 8th inning or something like that.
Pitch right there. Ton of rotation on that ball. You could almost see the red dot from up here. Nasty.
3-2.
3-2 now. And the payoff pitch.
Fouls it off.
But it's going to be a foul ball. The next 3-2 is swung on and missed.
Swing and a miss, and Riley.
Hey, I'm not sure
That's
what he was sitting on right there. He might have been sitting on the
R-I-L-E-Y,
but instead
not
he gets the
R.
fastball way late, had no chance
Y-
to put that ball in play.
Not R-Y-L-E-E, but it's spelled differently. But now we have Freddie Freeman once again.
This ball will be chopped foul.
1-2 is the count.
The 1-2 is swung on.
Swing and a
missed. He got him on
miss.
strikes.
Just like that.
Down in order go the Braves.
4 down,
Still
5
down
innings to
3-0.
go. I mean, San Francisco still leads 3-0.
Now at the plate, here
But,
is
you know,
Mike
you get the feeling, however, that if San Francisco can't add to the lead that they already have,
Been the entire offense so far in this
you
one.
just get the
They've been
feeling that
shut down
Atlanta
other than
can
that.
slowly but surely get back in this. So they got to,
Here's
if you're the
1-1
Giants, you
pitch.
want to find a way to put them out.
Started to go around there. Looked like
Well,
he held up
that's
in time.
1-2 in favor of
Strike
Morton.
2, says the third base umpire.
And speaking of Morton, he's up to 85 pitches.
And he lays off it to even
And
count
really,
2-2.
if you're the Braves, you got to get somebody in the bullpen, including
And a right-hander up in
my
the
man,
bullpen.
Wesley Turtle. But also including Dylan Lee, in case you need him. Lee, that is.
A full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes.
What a great battle to start this inning. What a great job by the leadoff hitter. He knows that this pitcher's starting to get up there in pitches. The manager's starting to get
3-2.
restless. Let's see if we can knock him out.
Hits it right to Freeman, and they get the out at first. 1 down.
For the out, 3 unassisted. Next, it'll be Steven Duggar. Struck out in his last trip to the plate. Now the 2-1 pitch. Turned on that.
Fouls
one.
it away.
Crushed it, just pulled it a little foul. 1 out, nobody on. Weak chopper to the left side.
Popped up, and 2 down.
Puts it in for the second out of the inning.
Well, now Morton is finally starting to settle down.
The top of the lineup.
Although, if you're an Atlanta Braves fan, you kind of wish he had done it sooner than he actually did. One and I can't even talk.
And here's a
1 for
ball
2.
in the air.
And is that going to drop? Nope. I mean, yeah, no, it did. It did drop, but it dropped in the glove.
Giants down in order. They lead
But that was a
it
1-2-3 inning for the Braves there. Cheyenne.
Back for the bottom of the 5th. Here's Heidi Watney.
Oh, Brenda.
Now,
I guess
had a
Brenda
chance
doesn't
to
like baseball, I
discuss the Braves'
suppose.
offense with their manager Brian Snicker during the commercial break, and he was pretty blunt in saying they're just not having very good at bats. They haven't had a single guy on base yet, so it's starting to feel a little desperate down here. But he said they've unfortunately just been faced with some really great pitching today. The key going forward is to find any way they can to get him out of his rhythm on the mound.
And of course, as you can see, the manager just was like, "Oh dear God,"
All right, Heidi, thank you.
just begging, pleading to get somebody on base.
And he
Fouled
just
away
gets
by
it
Joshua,
upstairs.
1-2.
It's a chop foul.
This guy's been really on point so far, but it's not getting any easier. He has to get through 4, 5, and
Well,
6 right here.
unless people start dropping out
Now
as
a
far
fastball
as
taken
the
outside.
roster on
Here's
BTW.
2-2 now.
This guy's been throwing the ball great so far.
Maybe
They
you could
should
tell me more
invest
about
here.
Cheyenne,
4,
though.
5, and 6 coming up this part of
Oh, okay.
Cleanly
Well, hey,
blocked
I'm happy that that Brenda's there for you and Cheyenne.
Coming forward now is the Braves' designated hitter, Walter Johnson.
I mean, that is a beautiful name, though.
The 1-1 home.
1-1 is the count,
Lifted in the air to shallow
and
center field.
Wally,
Shelley trying to get there.
it's popped up high,
Tracks it down and
but-
makes the play to record
but
the second out.
Shelley, Damian Shelley, manages to run out and get it.
Boy, he showed some pretty good
Yeah,
range
okay.
today. Pretty deep into the outfield.
But again, like I said, the roster's full,
The
but
outfielder might call him
once
up,
people
but
start
he
leaving
clearly had it
or
under control.
it's more likely we'll get some new people in for the next season. Much more likely than that.
Stepping in now, Adam Duvall. And the perfect
And as that happens, Duvall
here as this pitch misses for
is going to get a free
They
base.
haven't been able to register a hit against this guy, but at least they have a base runner here.
So
We'll see
Duvall
that
finally
means
gets on
something.
on base. Now let's see if they can do something with it. And as that happens, Jorge Soler is up now. Of course, I do remember Soler from his time in Kansas City, in which, you know, the Royals, the team that he was with, made it to back-to-back appearances in the World Series. They lost to the Giants in 2014, and then would end up beating the Mets in 2015 to win a championship. Sure, that's all cool. All good there, Brandon. But now you have a hit. Now Gossman is going to have to start dialing it up again, because first he gives up a walk and then he gives up a hit. Even though he's at 66 pitches, if he starts to falter even at this point, that's not a good thing.
2-2. This is the pitch where you want to attack the zone. If you go 3-2, then you put the runners in motion.
Now, of course, he already has 2 outs, so they just need to make a play at any base except for home. Pops it up.
And the inning will end as they're unable to cash in.
And of course, Bryant gets the out.
For Atlanta. They trail in this one 3-0.
And it's still 3-0. So 5 down, 4 to go. As we have Crawford, Brandon Crawford, Jose, and Clinton. Well, it looks like my man, Wesley Turtle, is going to make his first appearance.
About to get started, and standing in is the DH.
So now we're going to find out what he can do. 1-1 is the start.
He's set. Here comes the 1-1.
1-2.
That's a pitch he'd like to have back. You're not going to see very many pitches like that from a pitcher of this quality. I'm sure he'd like to have that one back to take a swing at it.
The 1-2. Grounded to first.
Well,
Freeman is up with it.
good hit, but great play there by Friedman to get it and tag the base. 1 down.
Next to bat for the Giants.
Well, now the question is Jose going to get on base? And if he does he do it at the expense of Wesley Turtle? So now we have our first one-on-one between Jose and Wesley.
Look for him to try and get on something and drive it out of the yard this AB.
Man, that pitch had the look of a fastball. Straight changeup, and the bottom fell out of it.
Bases are empty, 1 man out. Swing and a miss got him reaching.
And a swing and a miss, they'll have to throw him out. They do. 2 down.
Now to bat, number 37. He comes in 0 for 2 thus far. A swing and a drive sent out.
And
toward the
whoa,
gap.
that's a good hit. Is it out?
And
It's gone!
On a 2-strike count with 2 away.
And Clinton hits his first home run in a Giants uniform.
So a solo shot here to left center field.
What a hit
The
by
Giants
Clinton.
Opened up their lead and now 4-0.
Well, Jose, I have to say, how do you feel about Clinton being on your team, especially when he can do that?
So much money, and there's your answer. The great ones find a way to rise to the occasion in the postseason, and he did right there.
What a hit.
In now, Brandon Belt. And he misses the circle change there. It's 3-2.
Looked like he swung at ball 4 right there. Clearly, he saw something in that pitch.
Swing and a miss. That retires.
Swing and a miss.
And that will do it.
Well, that's the 3rd out, but not before Clinton adds another run on the board. Another one bites the dust. Dun, dun, dun. Another one bites the dust.
Bottom of the 6th inning now.
Right now, the Braves, they're going to have to come up with a big inning here. If not, start hitting consistently, because right now, it's just not working. I mean, Gossman is still up on the mound. He's at 70 pitches. Making 71, but still. Swing and a miss. Another strikeout for Gossman. He's at 7 strikeouts.
He's been in total control out there tonight. Gets the leadoff guy with a strikeout there, and it just seems like we've seen so many off-balance swings and weakly hit balls in this one.
Standing in now, Eddie Rosario.
Rosario fouls that one off. 2-2. And it's hit down the line. And that'll be just enough for a single. So that is only the second hit for Gossman given up. He's given up 2 hits, and he's only given up 1 walk, and has gotten 7 strikeouts, which is incredible for him.
At the plate now, Austin Riley.
Now, if they can just string a series of hits, if not a big fly, then, you know, they just have to take what Gossman has to give him. I mean, he hits that one, but it gets hit right to Damian, so 2 down now. I mean, of course, Damian is quick as a cat. And that is the key word, if. If they do, they can get back in this, but if they don't, hits it down and gets the out at first. Yep. Yeah, he is a Neckle, the cat boy.
Here's Chris Bryant now.
Aww.
Here now the 2-2.
All right, so Turtle using a changeup. Of course, some of these. Of course, Wesley is going to use everything in his bag of tricks, but that didn't work as it gets hit past the first baseman, past Freddie Freeman, and that's going to result in a double for I didn't see his name. Oh, Chris Bryant. Okay. Yeah, he sliced it. I mean, that was just a good hit there. Now Buster Posey 0 for 2. Although he gets all of this one. Well, not quite a home run, but still. And Buster Posey gets the double. Man, he had to leg that one out. I mean, of course, Buster Posey's not the spring chicken that he once was during the dynasty years of the Giants, IRL. But you know, there's an old saying that the last thing to go in a fighter, or in this case, a baseball player, is power. And as long as Posey has that power, and he can get hits like that, he'll be just fine. Chris Martin up next. And he will be tasked with taking over from Wesley Turtle. It just didn't work out for him. Although, to be fair, I mean, the Giants are not pushovers when it comes to teams of that time frame. Right now, the Giants are ahead 5-0. And then, of course, you have Yamstremski, who had that 3-run home run.
You have to find a way to lay off that low sinker. There is just no way to do any damage. You're just looking at either a bruised shin or a ground out to the left side.
A wild pitch, but of course, being that Posey doesn't have the wheels that he used to, can't really capitalize on it.
Hit down the third baseline. Ready with another 2-2.
Fouls it off. And a half swing that gets called for a strike.
First out of the inning.
Fooled him just enough with that pitch to get him to go around, according to the umpire. Sometimes it can be really tough for these big, strong guys because once they're committed to swinging, it's hard for them to slow their swings down, and that appeared to be the case there.
Ready with 2 balls and a strike. 3-1. His prior history versus this arm. Just a couple of matchups, no hits in 2 at-bats.
So you have,
No runner on second base.
so we have a 3-1 count, 1 down, a runner at second.
And the count will be
Right now,
1.
Atlanta's going to need all the help they can get. They got to start stringing some hits here.
And he takes ball 4.
Although that one was
Good job out of the 9-hole in getting
that
on
one
base
was
as they go back to the top of the order.
way outside
That's
for
just painful for a pitcher right there.
for Martin.
That was right on the corner, but he couldn't get him to chase
It was close to the corner, but it just
Can't
didn't
beat yourself up about
get in.
that with too much.
So now Shelley looking to add to the single that he got in the first,
Shelley flew out last time up.
but now has a chance to get a run batted in. Let's see if he does it.
Posey at second. Duggar at first. 1 gone. Swing and a ground
And he
ball
hit,
to
gets a
first.
single,
And just past his
and of
outstretched
course they're
glove
not going to
without
wave
the
in
baseline.
Buster Posey. They know that he's not the fastest, so
Slider right there, guys, but he didn't let the second one go. Maybe
So they're
let
gonna keep him at
execute
third.
and drive the baseball.
but Shelley gets the bases loaded.
Jesse Chavez is called upon to pitch, really needing that double play ball. Bases are loaded.
So now we
here
have
with
Jesse
only 1
Chavez
out.
coming in. I'll tell you one thing, this is going to affect them in Game 2, especially with the bullpen. Because unless they can get a quality start for their starter in Game 2,
Into the box
does
now, Brandon Crawford.
does
Misses inside with the fastball.
Atlanta,
It often becomes harder to hit the zone when the pressure starts.
unless
to
they
heat
get
up.
that, their bullpen is going to be in very bad shape by the time we get to that game.
1 out.
So if you're Atlanta, you gotta, number one, you have to just hope to hang on
Hey, that's a well-executed pitch right there. That might have
and hope
started
that you
to
win
move on
this
away
game.
to that outer part of the zone. This left-handed
Otherwise,
batter
it's
right
going to be a
here
long
is
Game 2 by the time we get to San Francisco. Well, a swing and a miss that time.
Swing and
Base
miss.
is still loaded, but it is now 2 outs. So a play at any base will do.
Wow, that's the case right there where a pitcher knows this guy's up there.
But
He's
Brandon
in slow
Crawford,
mode.
it's like,
Wasn't even close to the strike
got to be
zone,
kicking
and he's
himself
still
that he had an opportunity to really blow this game open.
Stepping in now, Jose.
But now we have Jose, and unfortunately, he pops out.
Is there to make the catch, and they'll escape the
Seventh-
bases loaded
seventh inning
chance
stretch
by
is up
getting
next.
just 1 run. So 1 run here on 3 hits.
All right, I'm going to stand up.
And 3
There we go.
We'll move on now to the bottom half of the 7th. Get up and stretch. It's the Giants 5 and the Braves nothing. Bottom of the
All right,
inning
so
now.
Joshua,
And the shortstop,
0 for 2.
Joshua James.
And really, I have to say that the key to San Francisco being in the position that they are right now is the fact that they've kept Joshua James and Walter Johnson from getting hits. I have to think that had they been able to get some hits or cause some damage, get some RBIs,
Down the first baseline.
I would think that Atlanta would be in a much better situation, whether it's a close game or whether they'd be ahead or they would be in a much better, they would be closer in terms of the score. But as it is, Joshua is now 0 for 3.
Next to hit is Walter Johnson.
And speaking of Walter Johnson, there he is.
He's set. Here comes the 1-1. Looked like he was on that one, but it's 1-2.
That's back-to-back sliders on the outside part of the plate. Now would be a good time to come in with that good hard stuff inside.
1 out, nobody on.
1-2.
And he struck him out.
And struck out has Wally. Wally just cannot get anything going.
Chase a pitch for the strikeout.
Although, credit to Gossman, he knew what Wally could do and was able to just play him like a fiddle.
Getting them to go after a pitch they can't do much with becomes a lot easier.
I mean, he just played him like a fiddle. He just played him like a violin, really.
To the plate now, Adam Duvall.
And really, Yasha Heifetz never played a violin with more dexterity than the way that Kevin Gossman is just playing the Atlanta Braves. And if you get the reference, bonus points to you.
Jorge Soler would be next. He's set. Here's the 3-2.
Swing and a miss, and Duvall
picks up strikeout number 9 here, and the side is retired. Braves are set down 1-2-3.
is forced to sit down.
Going soon. It's 5-0.
The Braves have 2 hits. Just 2 hits. And 2 walks. And have nothing to show for it.
Box, number 37. It was a solo
But
shot
now we have
for
Clinton,
his
who is
last
1 for
at-bat.
3.
That last AB when he hit the home run, that was a decent changeup. It was down in the zone, but one of the problems when you have a good changeup like this pitcher does.
Ooh, that was a little inside. 2-1.
He's going to have to locate it a little bit better in this upcoming at bat.
And he hits it, but he hits it right to the third baseman, and they get the out at first. 1 down.
So the leadoff man is set down to open up inning number 8. Next up is Brandon Belt, who's got a hit in 3 at-bats to this point.
Fouled off by Brandon Belt.
Back on the changeup, and he did a good job just to make contact.
And Belt will get a free base.
And I'm sure the manager is just fine with that. I mean, it's better to battle a slugger like that to the end and end up walking him than serving one up where he can really hurt you.
So, runner on base. A runner at first with 1 down. Quick count, 3-2.
Fouled off.
Fouled off.
Belt leads off first with 1 away.
As a former violinist, I know Heifetz quite well. I played several of his pieces he wrote and played. Wow. Yeah. I mean, I was listening to classical radio, and I heard about Yasha Heifetz, and I was like, okay, well, who's he? And then
into the box, Buster Posey.
And I have to admit, he's a superstar when it comes to being a violinist. I'm just surprised he didn't become like a superstar, but I guess I can understand that. Obviously, he wouldn't have been able to get the attention that, say, a Stevie Wonder would get. or got.
Nothing's changed out there on the mound.
I have to think that if Yasha Heifetz had came in at a time when classical music was at its height, he probably would have been far more remembered than he actually is. But even still, a definite recommendation to listen to when it comes to violin, classical music. Really. You did, and Emily played the violin at school. Aww. Wait, she played the same violin that you played. Wow.
Set to deliver on 2-1.
That's incredible.
Team's been struggling on offense. Let your D work for you right here. Pound the zone.
3-1.
Skied in the air to straightaway left.
Popped up. Uh-oh. Well, I'll tell you what, though, even though Clinton's not the fastest, he was able to cover the distance, and I got to give him credit. He made it. One down. But on the other hand, you know, it was popped up a little too high to where Clinton could make a play, and he did. Gets the strike on the upper inside corner. Does Gossman. Gossman is now up to 101 pitches. 2-2.
Well, he's thrown a lot of pitches in this one, but it's not like he's walking a bunch of guys. Only one free pass to this point, but they're still making him work really hard.
And he struck him out.
And another strikeout for Gossman. 10 strikeouts.
I'll tell you right now, this guy has a shutout going, and it's been all business. He's not messing around trying to pick at corners. He's being aggressive in the zone, and he's attacking each and every one of these hitters up to this point.
Here's the catcher, Travis d'Arnaud. And they're down to their final 4 outs here, Dan.
Yeah, that's not looking too good for them right now, Matt. They've got a significant hill to climb, but they've got to take it one bat at a time. A couple of guys get on, and then who knows what could happen.
Travis d'Arnaud with an even 2-2 count now.
It's been more than 2 innings since this guy's allowed anyone to reach base. He looks pretty unbeatable on the bump right now.
And it's fouled away.
Okay. But no, that is really cool, though. And Jose said it himself. Swing and a miss. Man, Gossman just on fire, folks. Well, I don't know if he'll play the whole game as Gossman. So when I mentioned the bullpen situation for the Braves, on the other end, the fact that Gossman has already completed 8 innings of quality pitching. I mean, that's got to give San Francisco the edge should they ever have to use their bullpen. But now we have Luke Jackson, obviously no relation to Michael Jackson, Phil Jackson, Matt and Nick Jackson, not even Jermaine Jackson.
Fouls this one off. Not surprised he's laid on a heater right there. Just saw an off-speed pitch.
I will stop right there. 2-2. Of course, Yastrzemski has 1 hit, but that 1 hit was that 3-run home run. And without that, this would have been a much closer game, you know, 2-0. But that's 1 down. So this situation is kind of the opposite of what happened in the previous game.
Bases are empty, 1 man out.
Emily started playing it in the 5th grade. Aww. Wow. 165. I could only imagine how much more that costs now. Or maybe not. I don't know. But I just know it's not cheap. I know that.
The zone to fill the count, 3-2.
He'll be fine coming bullpen in this one if he can keep the ball around the knees like that.
Oh, there we go.
Check his swing there,
And a check swing, and that's going to result in Duggar
so it's ball 4.
getting on base for free.
Oh, man, that check swing was about as close as they get. Tough call for the umpire, but it goes the batter's way this time, and he draws the walk.
At the plate now, Damian Shelley. And he lays off, so it's full now, 3-2.
We could see the runner in motion here on a 3-2 count with one out. There's a pretty good chance he's going to get a pitch to swing at, and if not, it's ball 4 anyways.
All right, so 3-2 is the count for Damian Shelley, who is 2 for 4.
And that misses.
And it still remains 2 for 4 because that's going to be another free base. That's 2 consecutive walks that Luke Jackson has given up. I mean, this just has not been a good night for the Braves as they bring in another reliever. Oh, this is not good. And like I said, if the Braves are going to get back in this, not just this game, but in the series, for Game 2, their next starter is going to have to come up with a quality start and a deep run in the game, because if not, I really do not like the Atlanta Braves' chances of winning this series. I really do not. And then a called swing strike, 1-2. And for San Francisco, this is an opportunity to add to the lead as if they already needed it, but they can. And they probably will. 2-2. Fouled off. And he hits this one, but he hits it right to center field. And the runners are unable to advance, so it's runners at second and first with 2 down.
So in now for San Francisco, Jose Blanco.
I had it appraised when Emily was going to use it 15 years ago. It was appraised at, wow. So in other words, adjusted for inflation, that's how much it would have cost 15 years ago. Jeez.
Looking to wiggle out of this. Here it is. 2 down, runners
Or
at
wait.
second.
Well, I mean, obviously you weren't going to sell it at that point, but on the other hand,
Fouled off.
who knows? Maybe you might have made some money off of it. I don't know. But then again, what the heck do I know?
Here's another 1-2.
But let's see if Jose can finally get a hit.
Guide into very shallow
Unfortunately, Jose did not have a good night in terms of batting, but however, the rest of his team picked up the slack there. Okay, cool. You still have it. That's great. That's great. That's awesome. I just hope it still works. If not, it's there for safekeeping.
Tony Watson of South Boston.
All right, so finally we have somebody else but Gossman. So Gossman got 8 innings, and it's only just now that Watson, excuse me.
All set for the bottom of the ninth. And standing in is the veteran outfielder, Eddie Rosario.
Well, I mean, at least Watson had some time to recuperate.
1-1, here it comes. This is Scotty,
Pops it up.
short left center. Blanco ranging into the
Well,
outfield.
Jose does get an out there. 1 down.
And makes the catch for the first out.
All right, so the situation for Atlanta is very simple. You got to score 5 runs to tie the game. Score 6 runs or more to win it.
That is swung on.
Anything short of that,
Things are starting to look
and
blue
San
here
Francisco
for
will
the
win this
whole
game.
nine. There are 2 away now.
Nice Nice
Oh, that's
two-seam
awesome.
fastball
That
there.
it still
You don't
works.
usually see a lot of swings and misses with that pitch unless it's really moving. So that one must have had some real good late life.
All right, Freddie Freeman. It comes down to him.
And now, Freddie Freeman.
Fouls it off.
And no one can get there. It's a foul ball. 2 out, nobody on. Final strike for the Braves. This is
He hits it. Uh-oh. Is it going to drop? No, it does not. Great catch there by Clinton. And the San Francisco Giants win Game 1 of their series against Atlanta.
Wow, this is a huge road win.
And unlike all the other series where the home team won Game 1, the road team wins this one. And San Francisco, the Giants, have a chance to win the series in San Francisco at Game 2. A great opportunity to do it. But yeah, a shutout by Gossman.
A 5-0 finish tonight. The San Francisco Giants win the opener.
So of course we'll have our Game 2s whenever whenever I'm able to get it done. I just was able to get it done tonight, and tomorrow I was like, well, tomorrow, like, there's a, well, how do I put this? Plans change, especially when it comes to, you know, Fridays and whatnot. Unless I know for certain of what my plans are, so. But one thing I will say is that BTW will be on Saturday. Wait, let me check really quickly here. Let me just check before I run my mouth and I speak and I say it wrong here. Okay, yeah, Saturday is Blue Toad Wrestling. And of course the Matin draft for season 19 is this Sunday. Player of the game, of course, is Kevin Gossman. The fact that he only gave up one earned run. Oh, I'm sorry. No, one walk. My bad. He didn't allow a run. My bad. But even still, congratulations to San Francisco, as they have an opportunity to close this out. And of course, I want to say thank you to those who are here. Yeah, a near perfect game, but, you know, not everything's perfect. So here is the the brackets as they are right now. So you have Oakland leading their series against the Yankees, the White Sox leading against Cleveland, the Cubs leading against the Rockies, and of course the Giants leading the Braves. The only real difference is that the Giants were the road team, whereas everybody else was a home team and they won their first game. So we'll find out what happens in the Game 2s. But with all that said, this is the Blue Toad, Deju 22, signing off, saying good night. And I'll see you on Saturday and Sunday. And, of course, Sunday will be the draft. Of course, among the people that are going to be part of that include Brandon Cornwell, Monty Mulshawn, Clinton Flippin, LD, Azrael Black, Brooklyn Joker, Atticus Black, Sean Sanders, AJ, and Jose. But all. Get a room, you two. Emma and Jose. Anyway, have a good night, everybody. And do stay safe. Do take care of each other. And yes, that definitely includes you, Emma and Jose. And of course, Spike Ryan and Cheyenne. Definitely take care of each other. But until then, I'll see you on Saturday. Have a good night, everybody. All right. All right.